and welcome in to another episode of Farm to Fame. Here at Farm to Fame and Joe Burrow, we trust. That is right, folks. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, former LSU quarterback Joe Burrow, former LSU wide receiver Jamar Chase are going to the Super Bowl. I am Kelsey Wingert. That is Peter Moylan in Australia, and that is Maddie Mass. Welcome in. I'm bringing the energy today because somebody put in a comment like 3 weeks ago that we were so boring that he fell asleep. So like, I'm awake.
Okay, so the one bad comment that we received in 18 months, you took personally and decided to scream at me this morning.
We haven't all hung out in quite a while, Pete. So I'm just bringing the vibes, bringing the energy.
Our guy makes it seem like we've been doing this all the time. They don't know that we've had 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off. How many weeks off have we had?
Lots of weeks. It's actually been sad.
I feel like I'm like, for having seen you guys every single Tuesday of my life for 12 months and then not going 3 weeks without it, it's different.
What makes me the most sad is that we really didn't even talk much, and we normally text like all day, every day. So that was a little confusing to me. Like if we're still friends or not.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I went into game mode. Okay, so since we haven't spoken, we've had to play a lot of games with the Aces, and I've had to be manager guy.
You have played games because Maddie and I were trying to. I think everybody knows by now. I was just in New York last week, and Maddie and I were talking about your schedule, and we thought that you hadn't played a game in like a really long time.
So we were scheduled to play last weekend, and we got 2 games rained out. So we got to play one game, which we won. And then the next day it rained like I've never seen rain before. So we have 3 games scheduled for this weekend, our final 3 games of this, I guess you'd call it exhibition season. And then I will be on a bird heading back to Australia the week after that.
To America?
Back to America. I apologize. Yes.
How do you feel about that? Like, are you ready? Or do you get sad when you leave Australia? Are you ready to leave Australia?
I get sad. Because of my daughters, obviously.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part. But there's a lot of developments there as well that I won't get into. But America has become home to me. Because all my stuff's there, I feel like everything that I own is in America. And when I'm here, I'm kind of just living out of a suitcase for 3 months. So it doesn't quite feel like home anymore. Yeah. So Atlanta's home.
Maddie, how are you?
I'm very good. Went on vacation 2 weeks ago. So that was a good trip to Florida. I was in Tampa and Orlando.
Did you go to Disney?
I did.
Congratulations.
Orlando, Disney, just synonyms. And then we did a event in and around New York.
Week long. It's a super secret.
What's not a secret is that I didn't make it.
You know, Pete, I had to cut my trip 2 days short. I had to change my flight because there was like a massive snowstorm up there. And it was, how much snow did y'all end up getting, Maddie?
Where I am in Jersey City, we got like 7 to 8 inches.
Like all of the flights were canceled, Pete. Like my flight was on Saturday at 1:30 and I moved to Friday in the morning, Friday at 11. And every flight after my 11 o'clock flight on Friday and all the flights Saturday were canceled. So if I wouldn't have gotten
lucky.
It was like wild.
Didn't it snow in Atlanta too last week?
It's been snowing a lot here, but when I say snowing, I mean there's snowflakes. It's not sticking. But like just the other night, I was laying on the couch and I looked outside and there were like snowflakes falling. And I was like, I didn't even know that it was supposed to snow tonight. But there hasn't been like Leilani has not been able to build like a snowman. Well, she might have the first storm because Alpharetta got a good amount.
She didn't mention it, but she did jump on the trampoline when they got the first storm, and the dog and her were on the trampoline jumping in the snow, which was kind of cute. I got that video.
I love her so much. And Mandy texted me just to like chat, and I was like, love that. That's like a girlfriend thing. We're close.
Loves a chat.
She that's how I found out that Australia closed the rest of the borders and you weren't able to see your parents anymore.
WA. Yeah.
Is your flight back on February 10th? Is that what she told me? Or the 9th or something?
Yeah. February 10th. So anybody that's flying from Australia to LAX on February 10th, make sure you say hello. Not sure how many listeners we have flying that day, but I'll be there.
I'll be there. Okay.
Birthday's coming up.
Yours is?
February 12th.
Oh.
What day of the week is that?
In the diary. It's going in the diary.
It's a
Oh,
Saturday.
February 12th, I'm in Costa Rica for
Nice.
my friend Maddie's wedding. I'll celebrate your birthday in Costa Rica.
So everybody's aware. I believe that's Maddie with D's. So I'm not getting married in Costa Rica anytime soon.
Yeah.
I will be
Single D.
in New York on February 12th.
Great catch there.
Costa Rica, huh?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go get my teeth redone down there.
That's interesting.
I heard that the dentists down there are quite cheap and could end up looking like the dude from Something About Mary. But you know what? If it doesn't cost me $50,000, then it's probably worth it.
What if it looks bad? Because right now they're so good. You want to go to Costa Rica?
I'm not going to do it until they start falling out. Once they start falling out, I end up like, I got that chip. See that chip?
Interesting strategy. Wait until they fall out, and then you book a flight to Costa Rica for the cheap dentist.
For the straight in, might get a boob job while I'm there. If not, just straight into the dentist.
All right. Let's send a camera with you or something. You can keep like a vlog.
Road trip.
You know what? I think I'm going to sit this one out. I'll meet you in the Bahamas after for the home run derby.
Okay.
I think I'm good with the cheap dentist. I'm just a little out on that. Sugar Land Space City.
What? The what?
Sugar Land Space Cowboys.
That's what you call a transition.
Let me just get this straight.
Opener.
How we
the
feeling?
Opener.
How we feeling? How we feeling?
I love it. I love the Space Cowboys. I hated the Sugar Land Skeeters. This is a reminder, if you haven't listened, what's happening?
I just thought it was funny that you said you hated it. You drafted
I'm shocked.
Because Sugar Land is my hometown. My parents lived 2 miles from that ballpark. Our city was submitting the names. Like it was like a big deal of the final names of what, like the 5 final names that were selected, and like citizens got to put in their ideas, and it was like a citywide effort to come up with the name, and we came up with the Skeeters. Like that's the best us as a city could do. But the stadium is one of the most beautiful ballparks you will ever see. Like obviously I'm saying, like, I would rather go to that ballpark than so many big league ballparks. Like it is stunning.
Really?
And we start a petition to make all of the Astros affiliates base themed.
Yes.
Like that.
Love the Apollos, which apparently is a team, the Houston Apollos, because we talked about them in the minor league name draft.
I guess the hard part is not every of their affiliates is right around Houston, but overall theme, I still think it works.
No, I think it's a great idea. I love it when teams can do that. I also love when teams, and this is a completely off left field sort of topic, but when AA, AAA, and the big leagues all wear the same colors, it makes it a lot easier to transition from minor leagues. When I was with LA, the Albuquerque Isotopes were black and red, and the Dodgers were blue. So I had to have 2 sets of everything.
Yeah.
Because I got called up and down so much because I was terrible. But
No,
still, I had to have 2 sets of everything. And that was a pain in the bum. So if all teams could wear the same colored shoes, that would be amazing.
Okay. If I weren't from Houston, I wouldn't know that NASA's done. So I just feel like I want to throw that detail out for people who were like, why are they saying that? Like they all need to be space themed.
Who doesn't know that NASA's in Houston?
I would not, if I were not. I do not know anything about other cities. So I probably wouldn't know that.
I mean, it's not crazy. Look at the Guardians. Everybody from Cleveland kind of knew why it was named that. And everybody else was like,
isn't it something about like gates in the city?
Yeah.
Like gates.
Stadium, there's a bridge, I think, and it has large Guardian statues, or it's like a significant landmark of the city. So
interesting.
That's the worst name.
So how do y'all feel about the Sugar Land Space Cowboys?
I mean, I don't really have.
Like, what was your
more concerned
initial
about
thought?
you. My initial thought was straight to you. Like, how's Kelsey going to deal with this? And does she have to
Phenomenal.
change all her posters in her bedroom to Space Cowboys instead of Skeeters?
Well, you know what? They actually DM'd me and asked for all 3 of our addresses about a week ago
Did they?
before the team was announced. So
Wow.
address
You got
I gave them
inside
for
track.
you, Pete, was Alpharetta because
I thought you were
I'm
just
not
gonna say
having
it.
them ship it to Australia. Yeah, Pete's address. But yeah, so like, because I went to the stadium, they did a whole Christmas lights thing at the stadium, and it was so cool.
I
You could,
remember
like,
that.
yeah, you could walk on the field. Maddie, remind me to send you like videos from this, because I always say I'm going to send you videos and then I forget.
I ripped it off of your Twitter. The last time we talked about it, I put a little something in the
Okay.
in the YouTube.
Yeah, they had like, you could walk on the dugout. I mean, through the dugout on the field, like the lights were just everywhere. It was so cool. And I had like tagged them in a few things for that. And then I guess they saw Maddie's tweets and then they DM'd me and asked for our addresses. And I was like, ooh, they want to
Awesome.
send us a PR box.
Love that.
I told them, I was like, I would love to like rep Sugar Land, you know, like if there's something that I can put in here, I would love H-Town, Funky Town, Clutch City, Space City, Bayou City, home of the Purple
Space
Sky.
Cowboys. You can
See
throw
where the
Space
stadium
Cowboys in
drops
there.
the top.
The only negative thing I saw online with the Space Cowboys was that there's too many colors in the jerseys. Like, I think that at some point there's like a gradient on the sleeve and it's like black, navy, light blue,
Yeah.
blue, orange. But I personally really like them. And my favorite part about the jerseys is that the lettering on the jerseys has the little stars in it.
Yes.
I think that's perfect touch.
I love the stars in the lettering. And I
Powder blue is
love
pretty nice too.
the Sugar Land Space Cowboys. I do not want to get it twisted. I was not wild about the jerseys. I was not wild about the jerseys that say space at a little bit of a diagonal and cowboy straight. And it looks like the font's a little low. Like, I don't understand why the font's down low. So low.
It looks like they you know what it looks like? It looks like they did the wrong button in the wrong hole and then the space went up.
Oh, so it might have been
No, I think that's by design because the rest of the shirt's okay, but I think it actually, that's what it looks like. Like, oh man, I missed the button, but it's okay.
But when you zoom in on the lettering, I love the stars in the lettering. Love that.
Me too.
Great touch.
Me too.
Also, our guest of honor is here. So I think we should just admit him and get his take on the.
Get him in there, please.
Hey, what's going on?
Jolly Olive is with us today, folks.
What up, Joel?
How we doing, guys? I'm good. How are you guys?
Man, your voice sounds so good, and you've got some sort of like, you must have a lot of mattresses in that room.
A lot of what?
A lot of mattresses.
Interesting.
It makes
It's all
you shove them up against the wall. Yeah.
Very interesting narratives from you so far tonight, Pete.
Can I ask one question before we get into this thing?
Absolutely.
Jolly, I watched Once Upon a Time in Queens the other night for the first time. It's like one of the greatest documentaries and stories ever told.
I really do think so. I'm biased, of course. I'm a Mets fan, but that and I don't know if you've seen the 30 for 30 on the Buffalo Bills where they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. Those two are holy grail for me, top of the list. So I really enjoyed it.
Amazing. I had a personal touch too because Roger McDowell was my first ever pitching coach. So
really,
to see him and hear him and see what he did in that World Series for
pretty cool.
Anyway, really cool.
I just got to spend a whole week with Jolly Olive. First time we got to meet in person. But for our farmers who don't know much about you, can you just give us a little background on your life?
Sure. I'm very new to the baseball content game, but Jomboy Media has really given me a leg up, which has been awesome. I've been doing this since August 2020. I mean, I have a YouTube channel, Jolly Olive. We just hit 30,000 subscribers. We talk about any baseball player that comes to your mind, really. It doesn't have to be a star. It's actually pretty much focused. Oh my God, look at that cat. It's focused on guys that really weren't stars and did, minor significant things in the game. That's sort of the bread and butter of my content. So if you're like that niche baseball fan that, maybe wants to dive a little bit deeper, it might be the place for you to go.
My
Beautiful.
fiance is probably already typing that into his browser on his computer right now. That's
glad
like
to hear.
right up his alley. And you came on with Jomboy Media. You have a podcast with Jerry Blevins called
Yep.
Shea Station. They are so fun. They've worked so well together. And it's covering the Mets, which I love. Because I didn't know anything about the Yankees when I got hired by Jomboy, because I'm an NL person and it's such a regionalized sport. So I'm super familiar with the Mets. City Field is in my top 5. Freaking love
Let's
City
go.
Field.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have taste. There you go.
Yeah.
Shea's in my top 3.
Really? Wow. That's high up, Shay.
It's Chipper Jones's favorite.
Shea had I got so lucky to catch it at the end as it was still falling apart, and you had to get a tetanus shot just to go to the bullpen. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Right before you hopped on, we were talking about the Sugar Land Space Cowboys rebrand.
Gut take. Go.
Do you have any opinions?
I mean, I'm always going to have a soft spot in my heart for the Skeeters. It's a shame that they had to change, but the
Very
new
different
uniforms.
stances here. You should have heard my stance on the Skeeters.
I mean, I do like the new uniforms. I like the way they look. They're pretty good. No? We're polar
No.
opposites here?
You and Kelsey literally said
Phenomenal.
the
Phenomenal
exact
work.
opposite
They don't,
sentences.
I mean, listen, they don't hold a large place in my life. I know them at the surface value. So I'm sure you know them a lot better than I do.
Can't wait for you to listen to this episode and for you to hear what I said right before what you said. And it's literally exactly opposite.
Well, we like the different takes here, makes for a good show.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about the name Sugar Land Skeeters, and I go really in depth on my reasoning behind it. So I'm sure you'll really enjoy that.
I'll be educated then. There you go. I might change my take.
Okay. I'm really excited for this draft, and I've prepared a ridiculous amount for it. Today, we are each drafting a lineup of, they all have to have one rookie of the year. So this is so fun, y'all. I'm obsessed with this.
So just to clarify, Maddie filled me in a little bit before, but it's not just their rookie year, it's their entire career. They just
Yes,
have had
we're
to win
drafting
the award.
them based on their career.
I'm also drafting based on their impact as well.
I
So
like that.
whether
I
that
like that.
is, we'll just let you take from that what you will.
Cool.
Super pumped for that. Also, I don't know if you guys missed this, but won the Super Bowl, baby. Oh, well, I
Let's
shouldn't say
go.
we're not going. It's almost the Super Bowl coming up. The freaking championship games were so much fun. And our people at DraftKings Sportsbook, man, do we love them. Man, do we love them, you guys. We have been waiting for this moment all season long, and they are the official sports betting partner of 56, and they are giving new customers 56-1 odds on either team, just $5. You get 280 in free bets if your team wins. And they are live now in New York. If you missed that, our company was so hype over because it's like so funny to hear the guys talking about the different bets that they place, like whenever I'm up there. So now it's live in New York. And if it's not in your state yet, you can play DraftKings Daily Fantasy Football Contest for Super Bowl 56. And new customers can get a free shot at a $1 million top prize. So you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use promo code Jomboy, and you get 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5, get 280 in free bets if your team wins. That's promo code Jomboy at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. 21 and up. Age and location requirements vary by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full list of requirements. This is a really long read. And state specific responsible gaming resources. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Y'all, I can't do this. 21 and up. Minimum age and location requirements vary by jurisdiction. I can't see jurisdiction. 21 and up. Minimum age and location requirements vary by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full list of requirements and state-specific responsible gaming resources. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-100-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text the TN Red Line 1-800-889-9789. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. In New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. This is serious? Like, did I actually
Holy
have to
cow.
read that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that a part of the read?
Just wait until all 50 states get gambling, and
You have to
then
do it one more time. You have to do that one more time. Record wasn't on.
What?
remind everybody of the code, because there's a chance people. might have-
Jomboy. Jomboy's the code.
Jomboy's the code.
Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. Anyway, Jolly, that's
Just
how I
before we get
started
into
the
this-
show, celebrating.
Hey, I mean, we haven't had to do a beastly DraftKings ad read on Chase Station yet, so I'm just in training still.
Can I show you something before we get going?
Yeah.
I received the best present the other day from a guy by the name of Rob Novotny, who I met when I first moved to Melbourne years and years and years ago. He bought me a full ticket set from the opening round of the World Baseball Classic, uncut ticket stubs from the game that I pitched in. That game right there, Australia versus Venezuela, changed my life. So he
Damn.
gave me this, a full
that is
first round
so
uncut
cool,
ticket. It's
Pete.
the most thoughtful gift in the world.
Yeah,
It's
that really
unbelievable.
is.
Really, really
That's
cool.
sick.
Oh my gosh, is it gonna go in your studio at home?
Yep. Oh
I
yeah.
missed the World Baseball Classic. Do we know what
Well,
it's coming back?
2023.
2023. Cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Aussies
Nice.
already qualified, so
Nice.
you'll see the Aussies there.
Aussies. Okay, so if you're feeling just as kind of like confused as I am after that ad read, I just want to remind you that we are about to draft our best lineup, but everybody had to have won Rookie of the Year, and we're drafting them based on their whole career. And
Right.
Pete said he was drafting them based on something else too, but I don't remember what it was. So,
Impact.
oh, okay.
I have one more question.
Hmm.
Does it matter what position they played when they won it, or are we just going with what position they played over their career?
You can place them anywhere.
Okay, cool.
This is also like within reason.
Okay.
Yeah, like you can't just like, you can't cheat the system. It has to make sense.
I'm going to put Craig Kimbrell in left field. That
No,
doesn't.
I
with
feel
your
like that's just fair. You know, I feel
Yeah.
like that's reasonable.
All right, so Jolly, whenever we do a draft, I put every name in random.org.
I like that.
Okay, I get the thing. Kelsey and Peter think I just make it up every time.
He just
I-
writes it down on a piece of paper.
Listen, it's all about strategy. I get it.
I'm gonna click the go button in 3, 2,
The go
1.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the order. Jolly, Peter, Kelsey.
Okay.
Always in the middle. I never get double
What?
picks.
You got the wraparound this last time.
Oh, first. Wow.
Love that for you.
Interesting.
Just
Okay.
complaining. Just complaining.
So we're doing every infield position, 3 outfielders, 1 pitcher. So 8 picks total. Or yeah, 9
Nine.
picks total. Sorry. 9 positions on a baseball field. You think I'd know that, you know?
Yeah.
That click. Okay, so I did some minimal research with the time I had, and I know that some positions are definitely thinner than others. So I'm prioritizing 3 spots with my first few picks. But I think I had some strategy going into it as long as I wasn't the number 1 overall pick. But like, if you're the number 1 overall pick, you kind of got to pick someone like, you know, that's deserving of the spot, I feel like.
Very true.
So I think I'm going to go pitcher. I'm going to get it out of the way first. And I'm going to take my guy, Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver won Rookie of the Year with the Mets, obviously. Was the greatest Mets pitcher of all time. And I don't know if you guys had listened to those Shea Station episodes, but when we did our all-time pitchers draft, Jerry Blevins got in a lot of trouble because he took Jacob deGrom first over Tom Seaver, and people were not happy. So I'm going to go 2 for 2 in taking Seaver in these drafts. I mean, you know, his rookie year is obviously really, really good. But based on B-War on Baseball Reference, he's beaten out a lot of these pitchers. And there's a ton of great pitching selections. Like, I don't think it's too thin over there. You guys will be A-okay. But
Okay.
Tom Seaver is going to be my number 1 pick.
I respect that.
I like that.
Really do.
I like that. Speaking of thin at positions, I am going to go with a second baseman, and I'm going to go
Smart.
with Lou Whitaker.
Like that.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you the jolly rundown of his full career and exactly what he did as a member of the Mets, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that he was a unbelievable, and he had a 75.1 WAR in. There's not a second baseman that comes close to him, honestly, unfortunately. Jackie
Yeah.
Robinson comes close, but he played everywhere. So thank you very much.
All righty, my turn. I am kind of taking a different strategy because I have power ranked my guys.
By impact?
Yeah, just like based on career. And it's probably gonna backfire. Because we're just taking different strategies here. But wait. Peter, who'd you take again?
Lou Whitaker.
Oh yeah.
Sweet
Okay.
Lou.
Sweet.
I will take with my first pick, Willie Mays.
Good pick.
The king of war.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had to be in the first round, right? Come on.
Let me just give
Yes.
you a little background on our guy, Willie Mays. 24-time All-Star, 12-time Gold Glove, batting title, 12 consecutive Gold Gloves at that, and 2-time MVP, obviously Hall of Famer, hit 301 in his career with 660 home runs. Holy smokes. Arguably the best defensive outfielder ever. I'm going for power. I'm going for glove. Yes, sir.
He said that somebody else that we know was the best outfielder he's ever seen. So
That makes my heart sing.
mhm.
Makes my heart sing. All right. This is y'all. I don't know. I feel like
You're having a hard time, right?
I feel like the person who I have ranked as number 2, I kind of think I'm going to get judged because he still is an active player. And so much of his career is currently judged off of what he is
Did
presently
I write
doing.
it down already? Or
I think we know.
I don't know. Is that a stupid pick? But like, look
I
at
don't
his
think it
first
is.
11 years with the Cardinals. Like, stupid.
Oh, I also thought it was somebody else.
I thought it was
Ooh.
Somebody
too.
else.
Yeah.
Me too.
I thought you were going back-to-back outfielder, which kind of surprised me.
Is he really a
Interesting.
current player?
Yeah, he might be
Yeah, but he's so judged off of right now. You know, like how he's recently been to the first 11 years, or is it the first part of his?
I got to face him in those first few years, so I don't need to. I'm judging him by the missiles that were hit at shortstop from him.
And first is kind of a tough position.
Mm.
But I think I'm going to call an audible and take Johnny Bench.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Thanks.
Wow. Good for you. Holy cow. I
All over
mean,
the place.
Catcher's not like thin, but bench is definitely the best option.
I
think.
love the way that you just went straight left there. That was awesome. Well,
And you know what? That's exactly how it happened in my head. Like how it
Okay.
was portrayed to you guys is exactly how I experienced that as
and
well.
what you've effectively done is just wiped the floor with my draft. So I'm gonna have to completely change. I'm gonna pivot,
Whoa, another audible, crazy.
and I'm gonna go with Carlton Fisk.
Mm.
Mm.
Catchers are flying off the board. All right,
Catches
well,
are flying off the board.
my catcher's my last pick now. I guess that makes it easier for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, let's do some thinking here. So the other two positions that are thin are second and third. I think we're on agreement, right? So I think I'm gonna get those out of the way.
Right here.
Try and get the best options there. And Lou Whitaker was gonna be my next pick, so that was a great one by Peter.
Thank you.
I gotta
Good
do
job,
some
Pete.
last second searching.
Proud of you.
While Jolly's searching, can we talk about how surprising it is that Lou Whitaker is just not in the Hall of Fame?
Right.
What?
I was-
That's
yeah.
so stupid.
What do people say? Like, what's the reasoning?
It's a really good question.
I just Googled why is he not in the Hall of Fame? He was a one and done with the BBWAA and was left off
Seriously.
He was a
ballot.
one and done.
Yeah, I don't know why. Weird.
You see, that's some tea.
That's crazy. All right. Well, one of my picks has to do with the Hall, but he's going to be my next pick.
Maybe he drank once.
My second baseman is going to be Rod Carew. He's going to be my next pick. Twins legend. Of course.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to snatch him up. And then I think I'm going to go at third base with a guy that should already be in the Hall. Hopefully he'll get in next year.
You get how does this work? You get wraparounds too?
I think because I'm the first pick. We're doing Snake, right?
Yep.
Wow, love that for us.
Tight. So as long, I'm good, Maddie. I'm the next pick.
Yep.
Sweet. All right, so I'm going to take Rod Carew, and then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Scott Rowland for my third base because I'm a big Scott Rowland guy, and I love his glove.
You just took my pick. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Peter.
He's in my Hall of Fame
You took
list.
Scott Rowland?
I took Scott Rowland. I did.
Tough.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to ask for clearance first.
Okay.
Can I ask for a predominantly shortstop to play third base?
I think I know where you're going with this.
I think I
think
also
you-
know who you're talking about.
If they're a predominant shortstop, I think they need to stay at shortstop. Like if they're like known for a certain position.
But he's played both. It's not like
What are the games? Like how many games at each?
It's 2,302 games at shortstop, 675 games at third. Now, granted, if we just go by year, for the first 15 years, it was predominant shortstop.
when
And
did he
then
finish
the
his career?
entirety of the remaining 6 years was third base. So
And he was pushed over from third base by Aroyd into shortstop so he was playing third base at his last All-Star game.
I'm abstaining.
I don't know. Take it if you want, but I think there's like he's a shortstop. But I'm also like not gonna die on this hill. So like if you want to take him at third, like you do you, bro.
Well, it also says Albert Pujols played third base. So it's not like I'm saying I'm going to put Albert
And
Pujols
Ryan
at third
Braun,
base.
which is pretty funny.
I'm going with someone that actually played a lot of games. I'm going to do it. Cal Ripken Jr., third baseman. Cal Ripken Jr.
I think that's fine. It's not terrible.
I don't agree, but I'll allow it. But I probably also don't agree because I was about to take him at his actual position at shortstop.
Wow.
You got to take that out of there.
I would be okay if you took him at short. Like that just would have sucked, but like I would have been okay with it.
he's like played enough, especially like a significant part of your career. You got bumped. I think it's okay.
I like that.
And I think Casey and I are going to name our first kid after him. And I told him that I did a Fanatic show with him.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's a
on
bomb
Fanatic
drop.
Show.
That's crazy.
All right, Pete, you have to make a new pick. I think you have to give Kelsey.
That's true.
No, kidding.
Hey, there's no feelings in draft boards, okay? There's no feelings in draft boards.
So now I have two, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take Derek Jeter at shortstop.
I've heard
Maddie,
of
how
him.
you feel about that?
I mean, I have emotional ties to Cal, so I would have liked that pick more. However, Derek Jeter is also a phenomenal option.
Best defensive shortstop in the game, some say.
Oh.
Who said
Okay.
who says that? Can I
I
Matt
heard
says
it.
that.
I forget
Matty
who
Mass
said
says that. He's the only one that's ever said that ever.
Oh boy.
And then I am now going to take Albert Pujols.
Okay.
So I have first base cap.
Good audible by you. Good audible.
Left
you.
field?
Nope. We're playing him at first,
Okay.
where he belongs.
Just making sure.
He could be solid out there.
Okay. I'm going to go with, I had no idea that this person had this much of a good career already. But I'm going to go with Justin Verlander as my starting pitcher.
Yeah. Good work. Like that. He was second on my pitcher board, right behind Seaver.
He is good. Real good.
It's a hot take.
Hot
It's
take.
a hot take.
Hot take.
Okay. So is it back to me now? Because Peter doesn't get two, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna go shortstop now. I think I'm gonna there's just so many good outfielders that I don't feel the need to pick them all right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go shortstop. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure I know who I'm picking though. Oh, maybe I don't actually. I'm stuck between
One,
I
two,
forgot
three.
Bobby Crosby won Rookie of the Year. That's really funny. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go take Nomar Garciaparra. Shortstop.
Oh, impact. You want to talk about impact?
Impact. Like that. Impact draft. Don't even care about the numbers. Show me the impact. And then do I just finish my infield?
I definitely didn't spell his name right, by the way, when I read that, but I can read it, so it's fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish the infield. I'm gonna take Mark McGuire right after
Oh,
first base.
big
Can
man.
I have him at first? Is that okay? I know he played a little outfield too.
Yes,
Let's check
you're a
out the games.
guest. You're a guest.
Oh, thank you, Kelsey. I appreciate that. I'm liking my team, Maddie. Do you like my team?
I like your team.
I appreciate it.
I know that we're not diving into the outfield. Nobody is really, but there's one guy that I was hoping would have been drafted by now. But
That's
We'll
not
see.
Willie Mays. Oh, I think I know who it is. Maybe.
I'm gonna go Frank Robinson.
Nice.
that's who I was.
Nice.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's a good one. He went late in this draft.
Yes, he did.
I feel bad.
It's the outfield thing. There's a lot of outfielders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we don't include Albert Pujols, who dropped below 100 WAR just because of playing last season, Frank Robinson's one of the 3 people above 100 WAR. So
Mhm.
Who are the 3?
I can't believe he lost war last year by playing.
that's insane. Willie Mays, Tom Seaver, Frank Robinson. I'll make.
So we all got one, I think, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Does that
Perfect.
not just shine a light on how shitty war is? If you can lose war just based on, so you don't accumulate based on what you've done, it can actually erase your good
Yeah,
work
that's
was by
stupid.
playing bad. That doesn't make sense. Why are you able to lose war?
Hey man, I didn't invent it. I don't know. I'm a fan though. I
I'm
like
looking
war.
at you two. I love it too because it's a number that gives you it just gives you a number, but
Yeah.
it also shines that it's not perfect.
I agree.
Thank you.
Mm.
That's the end of my speech. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Welcome.
Is not to completely take us off the rails, but did Pujols drop below like 300 career average too last year?
Oh, I don't know.
No.
Let me just look real quick.
If you click to the most recent year before it, you can do
Yeah,
it.
his average was 297. Now it is now. So he dropped
Dang.
below 100 WAR and below 300 career average.
That's so
But the
sad.
career average, I
That
can understand.
sucks.
He was at 299 and after 2020.
Oh, okay, so he dropped.
He led NL position players in WAR for 6 straight seasons from
That's
05
crazy.
to 11. It's like, but we can't even like think of him like in that light anymore because it's just
So
like we're
weird.
so jaded by what recent
Watching him trying to run to first base.
Yeah. But like,
Yeah.
look at his first 11 years. Go on Baseball Reference if you're listening to this, unless
It's
you're driving.
impressive.
And
So
just
fun.
go look at the first decade of his career.
Go to Baseball Savant too. Look at all those red dots everywhere.
I am going to take, oh man, wait, I like legit don't know.
Gets tough here. Gets tough.
Juicy. Like I need a third baseman, but like,
It's thin. I think
a
third
light
is probably
position.
the thinnest.
you know what? In honor of one of the more recent Talking Baseball episodes, I will take Evan Longoria.
Well done.
Wow. Very interesting. He had
Well-
some good years in Tampa.
hmm
Yeah, and he just vibed really well with the guys. Kind of
It's a good
loved
episode.
that. 3-time All-Star, 3 Gold Gloves, Silver Slugger in his career. He's hitting 266 with 317 homers. Man, was that Giants team fun to watch last year?
Oh yeah.
Holy smokies. Okay. So I have my third baseman. And a reminder in the middle of this that all of these accolades we're naming for these players, remember that they also won Rookie of the Year, which is like the only reason they're allowed to be drafted in this draft.
Good point.
Okay, even though y'all have already taken your second baseman, I will now take Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, I guess there were 3 good second basemen to go around. Not bad. Not bad by us.
I had Jackie Robinson real high on mine.
With my 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth pick in the 2022 Rookie of the Year draft, I'm going to take Pete Edward Rose Sr., otherwise known as Charlie
Ooh.
Hustle. Thank you very much. In my outfield.
Not a Hall of Famer.
Not a
Nice
Hall of Famer.
outfield you're building.
Thank you.
I need to get started on that actually. Okay, so I have everything but outfield and catcher. I don't know. There's like tons of good outfielders, so you can kind of just go with personal picks. I'm gonna take Mike Trout for my outfield.
Juicy. Love that.
Going with the new guy, still active. And then like he was my favorite player that wasn't a Met growing up, so I kind of feel like I have to pick him. So I'm gonna also take Ichiro Suzuki.
Oh,
I'm gonna take Trout and Ichiro. Impact, man. It's everywhere. It's everywhere in this lineup. It's nuts.
Wow.
So much impact.
You're going to be called the Impacts. That's
think
all said and
so.
done.
It's our team name.
I love it.
Okay.
I am going to pick Andre Dawson.
Nice. That was my next one. Would have made for my fan favorite outfield. Damn.
Oh, I don't know. My outfield's pretty. My team is ridiculously unbelievable.
Dang,
Very humble.
I got kind of like, the outfield is tough now. Y'all took all of my next few picks with Pete Rose, Ichiro, and Trout.
I really wanted Andre Dawson. Shit.
Okay, I will take Jacob deGrom as my
Thank you.
starting pitcher, the best pitcher
done.
in the universe. If you argue that, is off with your head. Off
Look,
with
he's
it.
right there. He's with us.
What's his like demeanor like? Is he like a nice guy, good dude, good with the media?
I'd love to meet him. Seems like a nice guy.
As a Mets fan, what team do you hate the most?
Phillies, I think. That's a personal thing for me.
Why do you think?
The first couple seasons I watched were 07 and 08, where they choked away the lead to the Phillies.
Okay.
So those are like the first memories I have as a Mets fan, which aren't great ones.
Let's talk about the Phillies.
Let's talk about them.
What the heck? How do they go out and make these insane signings and they're like not even competing in the NL East?
I mean, when they brought on Dombrowski, it just reminded me of what the Tigers did towards the end with all those crazy contracts, and then he kind of just got out of there before things got ugly. I mean, I don't like the Phillies, but I don't like seeing teams go into like 7-year rebuilds. Like, you want the competition to be fun. So I hope that doesn't happen to the Phillies once like they finish spending all the money that they have, but they got to spend more now, right? You're kind of
Look,
cornered.
I went through the gauntlet of the Phillies years, 07, 8, 9, when they were really good, when they had Rollins and Utley and Victorino and the big three, Cliff Lee, Hamels, Holiday. Like they were tough. And that crowd was so tough.
Peter, you used to sell pharmaceuticals. You're awful.
So when they're good, it's a fun place to go and get yelled at, and it's a fun place to play. And Philly's better for it. So I really hope they can turn it around because it's a fun place to play when they're going good.
Plus, like, I feel like everyone in the East is going to be good next year, aside for like maybe the Nationals. So like,
Yeah, man, Juan Soto is just like chilling over there. Like,
I know, poor guy.
Who do you think? Who do you have? Do you think the Mets have done enough this offseason to take over, or do you still favor the Braves? Like, take your bias out.
Okay. Oh, I picked the Braves last season to win the division.
Okay.
And I think that the Mets are a better team than they were last year, but I still think they need depth. They need more arms because arms go out quickly. We know that from last season. I think they're a solid second place right now, but like the Braves just won the World Series. I can't like confidently say the Mets are just going to be better than them,
Wasn't there a report that came out today that the Mets are trying to sign like another like impact arm, like big name arm?
They're trying to get one more big name arm and then potentially like bat or depth, but I'm hoping that it's just like they spend big on another nice arm to get like a 3-headed monster in that rotation.
Work for the Dodgers. What's up? Kelsey, you're up. Go ahead. Yeah.
Carlos Beltran.
Nice.
Thank you.
Do you think if he gets into the Hall, he goes in as a Met or like a Royal
Oh, he goes Astro.
or as an Astro? I think he might go in as a Met. No.
How many years did he have with each team?
Let's see.
I'm on his baseball reference, but it just, holy smokes, 20
so good.
years. That's so
So
many
good.
years.
Underrated page. Some good stuff here.
20 years. Yeah. So Carlos Beltran, 9-time All-Star, World Series champ, 3-time Gold Glove, 2-time Silver Slugger, 279 career batting average with 435 home runs.
I dig.
I'm going to pick. Are you sorry? Are you? I'm baffled that I never knew this person's name before this right now. But my shortstop is going to be a young man by the name of Luis Aparicio. In the Hall of Fame, Rookie of the Year, 13-time All-Star, 1966 World Series champ, and a 9-time Gold Glover. Why don't I know his name?
He played around, I guess. Yeah. White Sox, Orioles, and Red Sox. Was an all-star with all of them. Wow, look at those stolen base numbers. Those are crazy.
Look at every number. And he wore number 11 his whole career through 5 teams. Well done. Luis Aparicio. Welcome to my team.
Yay.
I like it. Oh, so now we're getting on the last round, right? I think this is my last
Yep.
2. Okay,
Yep.
cool. I got a save catcher. You guys made it nice and easy for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Congratulations on that.
Appreciate it. Gonna go Mets bias again. Gonna take Mike Piazza behind the dish. I could have taken Thurman Munson, but like, come on. It's a Mets logo right there. Kind of makes
Yeah.
sense, you know. And then last outfield spot. Do I take Bryce? Do I go all newbies?
How do you think that would play?
I don't know. That's the thing. I got some older guy. I got Rod Carew in there. I got Tom Seaver in there. So it's not all
Mhm.
newbies.
I was talking more about your outfield.
I do love a good 40-40.
Mm.
So
Alfonso Soriano.
no. I think I'm gonna take Jose Canseco. This could be my last outfielder.
Great
Think so.
Twitter follow.
Really entertaining Twitter follow
Yeah,
for sure.
Great Twitter
Great
follow.
fighter too. He really
Yeah.
showed his strength in the ring.
He's great on the baseball.
Wait,
field.
did he actually get in a ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, for 11 seconds against someone at Barstool, and he pulled my shoulders dislocated as he fell on the ground.
Okay. Is it my turn?
It's my turn.
Okay.
And with my last pick, I'm going to pick first baseman and Houston Astros, Jeff Bagwell.
He was on my list. Nice.
Yes, you are.
And that closes out my team for 2022.
I like that.
Nice.
Dick Allen didn't go anywhere. That's kind of sad.
Okay. I have one more outfield spot. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So left on my board is Daryl Strawberry, because I love Daryl
Impact.
Strawberry,
Mhm.
Impact.
and Bryce Harper. Which
Okay.
one do you guys think is a more impressive pick?
You know which way I'm leaning.
Should I do it?
Mm,
Is that a good pick?
Impact.
I think it's a great pick.
For real?
Impact.
Impact. You heard him.
If you haven't seen the Mets documentary, go look at the impact Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden had on that team.
It's a lot of impact.
A lot of impact.
Taking Daryl Strawberry.
Love that.
You know,
Great pick.
I really think I could have put a little bit more emphasis on my outfield. I'm not happy.
What outfield did you end up with?
Willie Mays, love that.
Pretty good.
Carlos Beltran and Daryl Strawberry.
Willie Mays and 2 Mets. That's not bad.
Do you want to hear my outfield?
Yes, I
Go for
do, because it's really good.
Frank Robinson, Pete Rose, and Andre Dawson.
Stupid. It's stupid.
That's pretty freaking good. Andre Dawson was going to be my last piece. He snaked him from me.
So
did.
who all did we leave out? We left out Willie McKevy, Dick Allen.
Dick Allen didn't make it. Yeah.
Eddie Murray is left out.
Did
Bryce
y'all think
Harper.
Buster Posey had any chance?
There's too many good catchers. I think that if it was a little thinner, he would have been nice in there. But like, I would have taken Thurman over him. I think he's like 5th on my board.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not like they've been left out. It was just
Mm.
they were not chosen. And they're still very good players. And we're not going to take anything that they've done in their career, like War does, away from them just by not
No.
choosing them in this draft. This isn't going to affect their chances of getting into any future halls of whatever there are to go into.
Amen.
You're welcome.
Amen.
Mhm.
Impact.
All right. What are
Impact.
y'all's initial thoughts?
I love my team.
I
No
win.
bias.
Hands
Do you think
down.
you win straight up?
Yeah, I mean, you put this team in their prime against your team in their prime, and I'm going to score. I'm at least going to get a lot of hits.
I mean, I won both of our Shea Station drafts according to the fans, so I'm feeling very good
Ooh.
about like my drafting skills.
Okay.
I like my outfield a lot. Ichiro.
Yeah, but you're up against Jerry Blevins, and I love Jerry Blevins. But
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
we're talking about
Jerry will hear about this.
talking about
Yeah, he
podcast
will.
veterans here. We're not just rookies in the podcast world, mate. Okay.
That's crazy.
Freaking love
The
Jerry
disrespect.
Blevins.
The disrespect.
Jerry Blevins is just like, you like when he speaks, you listen, you know, like
So
he's
much,
just
so much
like,
wisdom for a
he
guy
is
that
so
like,
wise
is still pretty young.
and so kind, but you just like want to listen to him talk.
Mm.
And he
Hard to agree.
looked so New York when we were taking that train thing. He was like leaning up with his arm, like back on the train with his leg crossed and a beanie and had on a pea coat with like, and I was like, you look so New York right now.
I mean, he lived it, you know?
Really, really enjoyed my time with him this week. I have some heavy hitters,
Mhm.
Mhm.
like Willie Mays, heavy hitter. Johnny Bench, heavy hitter.
Johnny Bench is a
Jackie
good pick.
Robinson, heavy hitter. Jacob deGrom, I consider to be a heavy hitter, but I'm curious to see how that's perceived by the public. But the
He's a
only
heavy
other
hitter.
pitcher I had on my board was John Matlick, who I had never even heard of him.
Yeah, he's another Mets guy, but like from like a bad decade of Mets
But-
baseball.
Dwight Gooden is probably the fourth.
Yeah. I think with pitchers and catchers, we picked the three best available. Both times.
Yes. I also think second base, the three best available were picked.
Yep.
After that, you'd probably be looking at like a Dustin Pedroia.
Yeah.
He was on my list as fourth. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel
Impact.
about his chances at the Hall of Fame?
I think it's pretty good.
I think so too.
Okay.
I think it's pretty good.
Especially if the ballot's thin.
It's going to take a little while. He's not going to get on there.
He's
first
eligible
couple
in
of years.
2025.
I think it's going to be like an Andrew thing. There's going to be arguments for and arguments against,
Andrew
but
should be
eventually
in.
he should get in. Exactly. I
Yeah.
agree too.
Something that I thought was interesting that I saw about him, like he has no major career milestones that stand out just because he had a shorter career
Yeah.
and all the injuries. But I read that it says not a single position player who made their debut in 1948 or later. So essentially not a single position player has been elected to the Hall of Fame with fewer than 2,000 hits.
Really?
Hmm.
Can't tell you the article I got that from because I pulled
How
from
many's
so many
Petey got?
different things.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
He's got 1,805. Yeah, I mean, he's got the MVP. He's got 4 Gold Gloves, 4 All-Stars. I don't know if it's enough, actually. That's an
Man.
interesting case.
Yeah, when you look at his numbers, they're just tough. There's no
Yeah.
milestones.
This is what I get. So every person from their generation that they played in or they watched is going to argue for that generation. I feel
Right.
like that's my generation. Petey's my big league. He was there for the start. We started the same year and we finished the same year almost. So I watched him. So I'm going to argue for him because I saw the impact and the difference that he made to that city and that team. So, but that's the argument that people from the past are probably going to make for their guy
Right.
who we didn't get to see.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
I think I agree with that. And like, there's like kind of a soft spot in my heart for the guys that probably could have kept playing, but had their careers cut short. Mets, David Wright, obviously. I think David Wright could have been a Hall of Famer if he had those extra few years at the end.
Would have been.
So I think like Petey has a decent shot. I know his resume isn't fantastic, but you know, if the ballot's thin enough and like he's on there long enough, I think he'll get it.
I agree.
How do you feel about Andrew Jones in the Hall of Fame?
I think it should be a lock, like 100%. I think it's stupid that it's still even like a debate.
Mm.
Peter, do you think he's like the best defensive center fielder of all time?
I caught him in 06 and 07 when he was sort of at the end.
Yeah.
And it was just unbelievable
Yeah.
what he was able to do out there. And then you go back and look at the highlights and it's like, and
It's
anyone
nuts.
that pitched were like, well, he saved us
Yeah.
number of times, like multiple times. He saved us big games, whatever it happened to be. he has just made catches that just guys don't make. And he hit 451 homers as well. People forget that he hit 450 homers.
Even if you ignore defensive metrics, like I'm sure many writers might do, you have 451 home runs to look at, and like that great OPS plus over his career. It's just I don't really understand it. I don't think I ever will.
You know, two other people who I really liked. I did way too much. I'm disappointed in my draft because of how much time I spent on researching for this draft. Two guys, I think Jolly got both of them. That I liked just when you break down their numbers. Ichiro, his first 10 seasons at 224 hits per year.
Yeah.
For his first 10 seasons.
That was after he'd got 3,000 hits in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And then Rod Carew, what was it about him that I wrote that I was like, dang, I have no clue.
Reference.
He chased 400. He finished at 388 in 1977. He was chasing 400.
Yep. Yeah, I had a couple of I'm not a big batting average guy, but I got some batting average champs.
Yeah. I mean, geez, finished a full season at 388. Could you imagine?
No shot.
Like how much talk that would be if that were to happen now.
What did Chipper hit in 2008? Chip hit three.
He got 351, I think. Let me check.
Was it 340, 350? Because I witnessed that.
364 is what he got. 364.
Was that, what year was that?
That's 08, when he was 36 years old.
That was ridiculous. I watched
That's
that and I was like, you just felt like he was going to get hit every time he went up to the plate. It was so crazy.
Yeah. There's never going to be another Met killer like Chipper Jones. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I love so much his son's name, Shay. I think that's just phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Because it's a good name. Like it works. It's not too random. What were you going to say?
Yeah.
I was going to say Chipper is one of the 2 third basemen that we were kind of robbed of. Different reasons. Chipper lost. He came in second place in the Rookie of the Year to, no offense,
to
Hideo Nomo.
Who? He had that crazy year with the Dodgers, I think.
He was on my list. Though.
So he had like that really crazy year, good career overall, but obviously Chipper had the better career there. And so we kind of lost out on Chipper by just a smidge. And then for different reasons, A-Rod, so 95, 142 ABs. I believe the cutoff is 130 to maintain eligibility. And he batted 232. The next year, he came in second for the MVP. So if he had batted 12 less times or had 12 less at bats, he would have basically had an MVP season his rookie year. So
just like Ichiro did.
I was just going to say.
Later. There you go.
A-Rod, 117 and a half career WAR. We just lost out on him too.
Here's an interesting question. I know it's not based on this, but who of the people that we drafted had the best rookie season out of the people we drafted? I think it might be Ichiro because he won MVP, but I want to hear what other people say.
That's a good, it's hard to argue against that.
Trout had like a crazy WAR. Right, 10.5 WAR.
That's crazy.
Judge had an 8 WAR, and Pete Alonso passed him by a homer. If you are in love with homers,
Trout's was crazy.
Mark Fidrich.
Yes, Mark. He's on my list.
He was on my list too.
Of the
Birdman
of the 76 Tigers. That was
Impact, man. The Birdman.
Impact. It's true.
He used to clean the mound with his hand before he'd put the dirt on next to the plate on the mound with his hand before he pitched.
I think Pete won.
You think Pete won?
If we go strictly by summing WAR, Pete has the top WAR, 699 and a half. So
it's more than that, though.
Wow.
It's more than that.
But let us know. Comment first of all, but then we'll also put a poll out on Twitter to figure out who wins the draft.
I like it.
Before you go, Pete, if you have an Aussie Lingo.
Oh my goodness, I should. It's been so long.
Do you know what Aussie Lingo is, Jolly?
I don't.
Jolly Olive. So he gives us a Australian slang word, and we have to guess what it means.
Okay, I'm down.
Love that.
I just have to,
Love the participation from you.
now I have to research because
We put him
I
on the
forgot.
spot.
It's been too long.
We've also done too many. In the beginning, he was just naming them off the top of his head.
Right.
Now he's looking them up.
Now I have to, yeah, exactly. Okay, here's one for you.
Okay.
Grouse.
Grass.
Grass?
Grouse.
Grouse.
Yeah, spell it, please.
Grouse.
Grouse. Interesting.
Concrete.
We have one in.
I'll go with nachos.
Okay.
I'm going similar food vein. Give me hot dog.
It's not an actual thing. It's just a saying that we use over here. Does that still count?
Yeah, sure.
Tell us what it is.
So I
So
don't think it's
if
nachos,
something
then.
is, and it's only in Melbourne, I think. If something is really, really cool or terrific or fantastic, oh, we go, mate, oh, it's grouse, mate. It's grouse.
I like
Very
that.
confusing for Americans who would be visiting because it sounds like gross.
It does.
Good point.
Grouse. But
Grouse,
it's, yeah,
gross, grouse, gross.
So the team I drafted was grouse.
it was definitely grouse. This draft in itself was grouse. To see you
Grouse.
guys again, to have Jolly on our podcast was
Appreciate it.
grouse.
Grouse.
Totally
Yeah.
grouse.
Well done. us.
Seriously, thank you so much. We literally texted him today and he came on. So make sure you guys check out his YouTube page, Jolly Olive. I didn't know the concept of it before you explained it. And that's like phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
Like I can see how people would get super into that. That's like awesome that you do that. And then his podcast, Shea Station on Jomboy Media with Jerry Blevins. We love Jerry Blevins. You listen when he talks. Kind, intelligent, wears peacoats. So we love Jolly Olive. We love Jerry Blevins. We love our rookies of the year. We also love Jonathan India and Joe Burrow. So
Jerry Blevins is also a Bengals fan. So good for
I know
Jerry.
we bonded over that. And
Nice.
Burrow, we trust, baby. All righty. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Jolly Olive. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Farm on, farm often.